everyone, welcome to week 3 of Educational Psychology. This week we're going to be covering chapter 3, Social, Moral, and Emotional Development. So last week we covered cognitive development, you got your first check for understanding activity, and your first classroom observation reflection paper out of the way. So in a separate video, after I have some time to review everyone's assignments for the classroom observation and reflection paper number 1, I'll post some class-wide feedback for you so that everyone can get a general understanding of some recommendations moving forward to improve or retain some of the things that were really great about your papers the first time around, since there's a total of 5 of them due throughout the semester. So you can expect that to be coming sometime this week on D2L. Regarding your check for understanding activities last week, I would first like to say I was really impressed with everyone's work. I know sometimes there's some difficulties with technology that can arise, and I appreciate that anyone who had any trouble reached out to me and we got those figured out so you were able to hear the prompts in the lecture. So on the check for understanding activities, I would just like to note that I will not grade you for accuracy necessarily in these papers. If there's a really egregious error in your thinking on those assignments, I may consider taking some points off. But largely speaking, if you're responding to the prompts and putting a conscious effort into answering each component, if there's a few points of misunderstanding in your thinking or conceptualization of some of these points, that's okay, because I will be providing you written feedback every week on each of those assignments, and if there is anything that I think you aren't quite understanding correctly, or if there's something that I think you have a really fabulous way of articulating, I'll note that in the feedback. So I just want to encourage you to try your best on those. Make sure you're responding to every prompt, following the rubric, and then if there's any incorrect responses, I will clarify in my feedback to you what the correct response would be. So that leads me to my next point, which is that every single week you should be checking D2L to find the feedback that I upload for you on each of your assignments. So after you submit an assignment, say the check for understanding activity assignment, there's a submission box for it on D2L, of course, where you submitted your assignment. And then after I download your Word document, I type some feedback in the Word document, I will save another copy of it, and then upload it in the feedback box on D2L in that same assignment submission. So when you see that feedback appear, you should download the Word document. I don't think you're able to view the feedback just on D2L. You have to download on your computer the Word document that will always be titled KRF, my initials, underscore, your last name, underscore, the assignment. So you'll know it's my copy because I initial it at the beginning of the document title. Download that, and then in your Word document, you should be able to see comments appear on the right-hand side. And those will be connected to specific points that I'm providing you feedback on. You might have to go into your settings on Word and make sure your comments are on to view. But if you have any trouble with that, just maybe type into Google really quick how to find that on Word, or turn that setting on. So it's really important that you're doing this because, like I said, if there's any areas of misunderstanding, I will correct them in my response to you, and that's going to be important for your performance on later quizzes or discussion board posts, where accuracy is a little more important on those. And also just for your learning, it's good for you to be checking my feedback to you, because I'll also tell you when I think you had a really great way of articulating something, and I think that's important for you to get that recognition and validation as well. And I don't generally monitor that people are checking that every week. I just kind of put that responsibility on you and hope that you fulfill it. But I am able to go into D2L and just get a general peek every now and then if I'd like to on who's viewing the content and who's not. So if I see that there's a pattern of not looking at feedback or not viewing specific content in the modules, then I'll shoot you an email and we'll have a discussion because it's really important that you're doing that. But I trust that everyone won't have a problem with that. I think you've all been doing great so far. So moving on to this week, like I said, you'll be reading chapter 3 from your Slavin text first. So first you'll want to read the chapter on your own, then download the PowerPoint document. This week again you'll be reading or listening through the slides and you'll find a total of 4 prompts for your Check for Understanding number 2 activity. The format of the lectures may not be like this every week, such that they're audio recorded, but for some of these first beginning chapters, that's how we'll do it. So again, just do the Check for Understanding activity in the same way that you did last week in a Word document. Upload it whenever you're finished. I'll do my feedback to you. And then this week also you have a discussion board post due. So this week the discussion board is titled Theories of Development. So make sure you respond to that on your own and then provide 2 meaningful comments to your peers. This week you will also have due your quiz number 1, which covers chapters 1 through 3. So make sure you get that done and all the other assignments before Saturday, by Saturday at 11:59 p.m. And I think that's all I have for you this week. If you have any questions for me, just shoot me an email. I did change my office hours this week, but if you need to meet by appointment, if any of those don't work for you, I'm happy to do that. Or of course, to respond to any questions or comments via email. So thank you and have a great week.